Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. So, third recording of the recording session, we're going to try Rogue and Warrior victories. I don't think I'm guaranteeing any victories here. We're going to go to standard rank play at this point, because in wild rank play we've already lost more stars. So, Rogue and Warrior, let's try Warrior or Rogue. Let's go with Rogue. So sadly we're not making a lot of progress. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do standard play. So yeah, sadly we're not making a lot of progress here, but I mean that's just how it's going to go. I'm probably going to end up spending the rest of the day. I've been recording since noon, and it's 4:23 now.
You're back.
How that works, I don't really know, but that is for some insane reason the way recording works for me. It's just this this situation where I'll record 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and then I'll need to take a 20-minute break, or I will take a 20-minute break. Need is hard to determine. Then I'll do another 30 minutes and need to take another break. And at best, what is at 8, 12, or even 16-hour day turns into, at best, an 8 hours worth of recordings, but usually closer to something along the lines of 5 hours of recordings. Maybe even more less if I do 30-minute episodes. Seems like every time I have an opportunity to have a break, I take it. These games, I suppose in general, just don't catch my attention that much. It's been a long time since I played a game where I'm like, I want to just power through it. Now I use the phrase power through it a lot more in the term of just power through this bad game so you can move on to the next game. That one won't be as bad.
I hope you like my invention.
So this is a Cthulhu deck, but the problem with it is it only succeeds if you have a Cthulhu.
Job's done.
Powered up and ready to go. None of the other cards really do anything else. That's why I have Sprint and shouldn't have Sprint. It's a ridiculous card set. Next week we have the Karazhan final week, and then that will be a great time to rebuild all the decks. And I assume, I guess that I'm just gonna rebuild all my decks right after I do the final week of One Night in Karazhan. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Cthulhu is my spirit.
To your fear.
Oh, if you're sure.
So yeah, yeah, it's time to rebuild decks. I haven't really thought about it that much. I don't want to spend that extra effort, but yeah. Hopefully those new cards at the very least give me an excuse. I think we will probably abandon all of the old gods cards. Hey, this is that counter. I thought I told that to go away. Yeah, I told it to go away with the other characters, but the Cthulhu counter, I guess I didn't disable it for myself. It's really not a problem to have the counter on. I just I don't like the precedent that sets.
What you got there?
Do you hear its call?
That potentially there will be counters upon counters upon counters upon counters as we have more and more cards that use counters.
I obey.
Oh, if you're sure.
29 to 18.
Listen
I'm not doing
closely.
very well. So you see 9-9, and it was 9-9. You don't even need the counter because the cards that say if Cthulhu's attack is over 10 will do something different. They become gold when you've met that requirement anyways. Does this guy have Whirlwind? No, he doesn't. Interesting. He does have Whirlwind. Deal 2 damage.
Cthulhu! 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 Is an illusion. I obey. Cha-ching!
Take this coin. We'll play this guy.
Hey, speak to
If
me.
you're sure.
Attack the face in return. So next turn, we could sprint, or we could add
Someone
2 copies
call.
to our hand. So you have 4 cards here designed around just anything. It's ridiculous. And it's much wiser to play this than it is any of those. Let's see.
The sleeper has awoken.
Cthulhu!
I obey.
Oh, if you're sure.
Bring the pain.
I could play a coin now, or I could wait for Cthulhu. I guess I want to wait for Cthulhu. Let's look at what else we have to talk about. So, Death Stranding, Hideko Kojima's new game. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hideko
The
Kojima, I
sleeper
probably
has
pronounced
awoken.
it. I hope that I'm anywhere close there. His new game, after leaving Konami, or being pushed out of Konami, which is ever is true, has added a new actor, and kind of a really cool actor in my opinion. He is the main actor from a TV series called Hannibal, based on Hannibal Lecter, based on the Hannibal
Cha-ching!
series of books, Silence of the Lambs series of books, Red Dragon, and all. And it's kind of really, really cool.
Oh, it rises.
I believe his name is Mads Mikkelsen, but I didn't write that down. His first name is Mads, I just don't know his. It might be Mads Mikkelsen. He looks very, very different. He's not your standard
Someone
archetype
call.
actor. And that certainly helped the way he looked in Hannibal. And I loved Hannibal. It's a very mature, very psychological drama series. I watched it kind of out of order. I watched the second season and then went back and watched the first season, and then the third season was kind of weak, and then it's over. The guy who directed and I think wrote Hannibal is now going to work on the new Star Trek TV reboot, although I don't know if I can even call it a TV reboot because it seems like it's going to be streaming more than anything else. So that gives me some hope for that reboot, which would be nice if they could actually get
Your
Star Trek to
back.
succeed. now that I've got Cthulhu, sprint makes no sense. So yeah, I really loved Hannibal, but it certainly is not for most people. It's very
Job done.
psychological horror, drama, scary type thing.
The light protects me.
But so for Death Stranding, he has Norman Reedus, the guy from The Walking Dead with the bow, and now he has Mads
I hope
Mikkelsen.
you like my
He's
invention.
literally just picking his favorite actors that will work with him and 3D scaling them into his game. And the joke will be, is he going to turn these people into really great characters that we'll want to see forever, or is he going to have them do something really ridiculous and we're not going to even like those characters?
Do you hear its
We
call?
really don't know
Job's done.
yet, but we probably will eventually if that game ever even comes out. Frankly, Death Stranding is probably 8 years away, like Owlboy, which is too long, like I said, for Owlboy, but he likes to make really, really long games, even if most of the games are cutscenes. So his art certainly, though, adds to the art community undoubtedly, and everybody wants to see more from him. So we're all silently cheering him along. I have yet to hear anybody say, nah, let's just not give him any more of our time. I'm messing out, right? I may be totally off. So that leaves just Deus Ex. So last time I said, in what was set to be the surprise of 2016, and still is set to be the surprise of 2016, Deus Ex Mankind Divided is actually a good game, despite being delayed, despite augment your pre-order, despite advertising campaigns seemingly designed to cause controversy and just cause inflation. It seems like despite somebody's best efforts, that game
Are you my
is
master?
set to looks like it's a good game. Very much like Human Revolution. I don't think it from what I've heard doesn't really add too much on top of Human Revolution. The story's kind of weak. But part of that is because it is talking about the Illuminati, which doesn't make any sense in 2016. It's like it's just a little bit off the beat.
Here we go.
Catching.
So, I said that, and I still kind of stand by that. However, the Deus Ex had a lot of mud, let's just call it mud, some may say poop, stuck to its coattails that it needed to shake off. And I think it may actually successfully over time accomplish that, but we're starting to see that. So Deus Ex's performance on the PC, in some configurations at least, isn't great. That is to say, particularly if you have the MSAA, so
Here
whatever
we
MS
go.
stands for, anti-aliasing, turned on at all, it doesn't seem like it works very well. Looking at somebody's comparison on a 970 at 1080p on ultra settings, it only does 33 frames per second, which it's averaging. So I don't know if it would be fair for me at that point to record at 60 frames per second and then say, well, it's on ultra settings and therefore it's actually only doing
The symphony of terror begins.
it's not getting anywhere close to that. Although I probably have already done that. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody could do some analysis on some parts of The Witcher 3, and it said, you may have been recording at 60 frames per second, but the game never rendered anything above 35. I wouldn't be really surprised that it's always been the case that that's the way. I don't think there's really been any game that has actually had a solid 60 frames or 1080p. With my setup, I'm not sure even if I could achieve that. Let's see. I have 13 damage here.
My dream ends. Your there begins.
Yeah, but I'm gonna lose. Darn it. Wow. So yeah, its performance, it looks like it needs a patch for that. There is a temporal AA, which is a little less demanding. For what I saw, the recommendation is have MSAA off and temporal turned up for anyone else in there. The game looks pretty good from what I can see, although watching YouTube videos isn't much of a comparison, really. The cynical Brit Total Biscuit spent 15 minutes just talking about the settings in Deus Ex, so there's some stuff there. But the next bit of poop or mud on their coattails to shake off, and a patch will fix that. The next bit is they have this breach mode, which is just like
versus Malfurion.
player versus player, side
Watch your back.
online play thing that doesn't have anything to do with the story, and I assume you have to get into it from the main menu. But it's full of microtransactions. This feels very much like the overlords, the big bosses of their company said this game has to have microtransactions. This has to have online play, and and so it just got shoved in there. It sucks, and it's not right that a $60 game would have microtransactions in it at all. But it is in this online play mode that everybody has said it's not worth playing, and so it's unoffensively shoved into an uninteresting part. But at the core of it, somebody somewhere spent money and time making that online play instead of making the main game better. So the main game still suffers for having elements in it didn't need, and for having microtransactions programmed into it. Which, again, programming the microtransactions is somebody's money and time that could have been spent better somewhere else. But it's so forgettable. I'm easily able to forgive that because it's just like, don't play it and don't spend any money. The next problem, however, is the... What did I write here? Gosh. Oh, yes. I can't even read my own handwriting on this whiteboard. I'm writing so small
Do
that
you hear it
squeeze
call?
everything on
Oh, if you're sure.
on the board. It's such a small screen.
Listen closely.
If you pre-ordered it, you got several things, some of which you have for every single playthrough. However, some of which you can only use on your first playthrough. So what you need to do if you pre-ordered the game, which for me it's not a problem. I didn't pre-order it, and frankly I think the stuff that you're going to use are going to be extra proxies, and they're just going to make the game easier on yourself when you doesn't really need to be easier. And so you're going to ruin yourself on the game.
Soon is my seal. Have
If you're sure.
lost.
So, yeah. what you need to do though, if you pre-ordered, is as soon as it's possible to save, you need to save the save file and keep that save file forever, and then you can choose to use that Praxis. And if you want to go on a second playthrough, I assume you would load from
We
that
must
save
cleanse
file.
the Sunwell.
That solution probably indicates that if you play the game once, there isn't a New Game Plus mode, because if there was a New Game Plus mode, then it wouldn't really matter, would it, if you'd used that one time.
I hope you like my invention.
It's garbage. It's a garbage thing to exist. It takes practically no extra programming to say this person has this key, this license
If you're sure.
to the pre-order content, and therefore at the beginning of each game we're going to give them this booster kit of Praxis or whatever. But don't pre-order, it's not a big deal. And almost certainly all of, if you're really upset about it, you could, it may get patched. You may be able to make some kind of microtransaction to get it again, which again is not the right solution. Alright.
Heed the call of Cthulhu!
She's gonna summon Cthulhu to my hand. Hopefully.
I obey.
Cthulhu!
Oh, if you're sure. Oh, if you're sure.
Oh, that was draw a card when it was summoned, not when it dies. And then the final piece of poop, and this was really ridiculous. There are 7 load screens to Deus Ex Mankind Divided. 7 intro videos. A ridiculous amount of videos. These are the logos that show up when you start the game originally, I assume, and not just a backstory intro video when you first start the game, because the backstory intro to the game is actually desirable. And sadly there's a workout around where you just have to go dig in the files and delete those 7 video files to skip it, because apparently you can't hit a button, you can't go start. It's not apparently really loading anything. It shouldn't be loading anything that big. It's just maybe too many people worked on it.
Waits for no one.
Maybe people went crazy. It really feels like the people that wanted to make Deus Ex Mankind Divided wanted to make a great game and were in on it and were working together well. And then there was just this outside force of some corporate stooge that was just putting his 2 cents into it over and over again. And it's just like, we need 7 intros, we need microtransactions, we need online play. It's like, no, we don't need any of those things. So leave it alone. Let's see, play this.
Cthulhu is my shield. I obey. I serve.
If you're sure.
Here we go.
So Cthulhu is at 13 now. So that's like Deus Ex. I guess it's much like No Man's Sky. I bet I do end up talking about Deus Ex Mankind Divided more. Like Abduction, I wish I was playing it, but
Behold the might of
it's
storm
simply
wind!
just a budget and a time budget thing. It really sucks to have 2 budgets going here, but that's what's going on.
Oops, I broke a diamond.
Let's.
Listen!
This one.
I obey.
Here we go.
And this one. And in the turn, I've got all these cards. I need Cthulhu next turn. So I have 9 health, and I'll hopefully survive. How long have we been recording? About 25 minutes. So as far as victories, we didn't get them. I have several podcasts and things to listen to, and I'll spend probably the rest of the day. It's been 5 hours now to record all of the new expansions, which were only about 10 minutes each for one night.
We must cleanse the sun
And
well.
30-minute regular episodes. These regular episodes have become very much just news. There's not a lot going on in my life. It's slowing down quite a bit.
My hand is
Turns out that it's back to school time, but that has no effect of me whatsoever. So, so those poor kids, I hope they enjoyed their summer. I can kill this one because there are no more
Listen.
10 cards in my deck.
Job's done. What you looking at?
So here's a great card to play. Do this.
Screaming.
And do that.
Sleep.
It doesn't look like we're going to get up to rank 18. Unfortunately. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. So I got like 3 victories out of 5 here. But I got none of that. That's going to be it for this recording. We're back up to 6,000 gold. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.